I know you guys missed me. Me slurping down my energy drink so I can have some fucking energy. This tastes like a fucking, what is this, C4? This tastes like a popsicle. It's delicious. Anyways. So, hi everybody. Welcome back to Big Tit Talk with JHAWK. I have been MIA for a little bit because I have thrown my full ass. I don't do anything in my life half-assed, okay? I have thrown my full ass into a new lifestyle. Hashtag FitFam. No, I'd rather die. No, I fucking hate working out, but your girl's been, I told you guys, I've been really trying to, get my body back together. Sometimes when you work really hard on some things in your life, you're going to have imbalances. Like you can't always be balanced with all of your gardens, okay? Some things sometimes is going to be off balance. And I have been putting my body, like my diet and my exercise on the back burner for a couple years. So I decided, I just like shifted into gear to where I'm done treating my body like a dumpster fire. So I have thrown my full ass into working out. I told you guys I have to start small. If you guys have read, if you have not read Atomic Habits, I don't know. I'm so bad with names, so forgive me. But if you have not read that book, you should probably read that book or listen to that book if you're a listener. But it takes 21 days to start a habit and you got to start small. Like even so my walks that I started on, I told you guys I was like walking, and my walks eventually got like longer and harder because I would take like more inclined hills. So now and then I started back at the gym. So then I started incorporating that in my routine. So I've been busting my ass and I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm going to applaud myself a little fucking win. I'm not where I want to be, but little wins here. And, I'm happy I'm like now finally at that point where, and so it takes 21 days to create a habit. So I always keep that in mind. And I keep in mind that, starting small, like even in the book, it says if you want to start going to the gym, start even just driving to the gym, parking, and then driving home. Like just that, it changes, like it rewires your fucking neurons in your brain. Those your brain's constantly, and it can shift. So it reprograms your brain to start. Becomes normal. Like normally it's the hardest part about going to the gym is getting there. You feel me? So then you can drive to the gym, go inside, stretch, and then go home. And then the next time you go into the gym, do one exercise or start, a little bit of cardio and then go home. And then the little by little, it's like little wins that create that habit. And then you do it for 21 days. And then you start to, you're just, life is rewired to, now I get up in the morning and the first thing, I put on gym clothes and I, go for my walks or I go to the gym. So it's just now it's just in my routine, and that is not me, girl. I've been creating this habit and creating this lifestyle change. It is not me. I will never be one of those people that's I love working out. It's the best. No, okay? I want to work out just enough to where I can eat whatever I want whenever I want. And I wanted to counterbalance the calories I intake because I enjoy eating. I like to eat. I like to cook. I like, the event of going to dinner. I love that, So I don't want to, I'm never going to want to, go through my life or be on my deathbed and be having to diet my entire life. like, I want to be able to like enjoy my life. You know what I mean? So I want to work out just enough to counterbalance what I'm intaking. And then I also want to fit into my clothes. Okay. Like, I want to look okay. I don't need to be, I used to be this person to where like, I wanted to be so skinny. Like, I wanted to be so skinny. And it was like, it was never enough. It was never enough. Okay. And I'm just at this phase of my life. Thank God I'm at this stage of my life to where like, I don't care about being like super skinny anymore. I love my curves. I'm a curvy girl. You know, I got the titties and I got the booty, you know, and also, side note, I got thick legs, but I also got thick arms. My arms are giving, like, put that bitch on the grill. Like, my arms be giving, she barbecues really well. And it's true because I fucking do. So I have to, like, I just need to go to the gym enough so I can, like, you know, make sure I look, you know, presentable. I fit into my clothes and I feel good. It's really important to me now to, like, feel my best, like feel strong. Like going to the gym little by little, you know, doing my little exercises, like I can feel myself getting stronger, which I love, you know what I mean? So I just want to feel my best. Like, I even stopped drinking, and I love the fact that as a society we're not drinking so much, you know, or little by little people are going sober, and I kind of love that. I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I think that it's funny because now that I stopped and I'm not saying I never ever drink. I'm just saying it's like I'll drink if my dad's in town, I go to dinner with him, or if I'm at dinner with a girlfriend, like I'll like have a drink, but I'm not like that's very rare. You know what I mean? I'm not like drinking. And because I stopped drinking, I don't know if you guys have stopped drinking or whatever, or you guys are kind of like shifted into this like healthier lifestyle. But now that I stopped drinking, like, I don't want to say like drinking was my lifestyle, but like I was the kind of person to where like I was like, oh, I've had such a long day. Now I want to like, you know, relax and so I really wanted to break that habit of thinking that a glass of wine or, you know, a cocktail was like would help me relax, because it's like in reality, like the more research and the more like reading I did on alcohol, it's just like, and you guys have probably seen it because so many people are like not drinking now. It's just like, you know, poison to your body, and you don't sleep. Even though like I thought that like it would help me relax, in reality is like you get shittier sleep. And so now, because I stopped drinking, you know, like so much, again, I'm not going to say that like I don't drink ever. So if you see me fucking having a drink, mind your business. But, so like when I do have a drink now, it's funny because like I can totally tell the next day, like I just feel like my energy is very off, and I hate it, really. It's like it's nice in the moment to like, you know, be out to dinner and have a drink with, you know, girlfriend or like my dad. Like we'll have me and my dad love having like a margarita, but I just get like the shittiest sleep. And then if I don't sleep, for me, it's just like my whole fucking day and the next day is off, and I'm just like, I'm just not in a good mood. But speaking of working out, I want to talk about these men and their hoochie daddy shorts, okay? Because I was in the gym the other day, and this man had the smallest shorts on, okay? And I'm sorry, but I'm looking, okay? If you got these tiny ass little shorts on, I'm looking at a bulge. I'm looking, okay? Because at the end of the day, like, you have them on display. If I have my titties out, if I'm wearing a shirt and my titties are out, I'm not going to be mad if, you know, men or women, whoever, catches a glance or they're window shopping, because guess what? I have the girls on display. But don't be, okay, so this is what happens. So this guy with his hoochie fucking daddy shorts is walking by my machine. And I looked down. And I looked up, and he was staring at me. And I was like, oh. I didn't even look away. I was like, and then And the next time he crossed me at the gym, he put his hand over his crotch. And I was like, don't be shy. You know what you did when you wore those shorts today. Don't be shy now. If you're going to wear those shorts. And you're lucky I'm not fucking catcalling you like women have been catcalled our entire life. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about the gym. That's what I've been up to lately. But since I've been like on this whole, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like super rebuilding my entire life, but I definitely think that, like I told you guys in the beginning of the year, I've just been wanting to, rebuild myself. Like I started Big Tit Talk, and I'm not that I'm switching careers, but I'm just like adding to my pile, and it's just like it's just like I'm building something else in my life while also trying to like, rebuild my body back in shape and stuff. So I wanted to kind of do like an episode on like, since I'm doing this right now, like I want to tell you guys like kind of what I start with. If you guys are rebuilding yourself in any type of way, whether that's like you just you just broke up with somebody or got broken up with, or you're experiencing a breakup, or maybe any kind of loss or any kind of like detachment you've done recently, is like, it always calls for you to like, take stock of your life and rebuild. And I love rebuilding. So don't think that it's all bad. Like even whether that's a job loss, like a human loss in any capacity, or career change, I don't know, whatever you're going through. Whether that's you getting like, you're going to jump on like, let's jump on the bandwagon with me and get our bodies back together. I always think it's like, well, I'm like a chameleon. So like I told you guys before, like, like I'd honestly rather go through a man breakup than a friend breakup. First of all, that's a side note, because friend breakups to me are like, they're awful to me. Like men breakups, like I'll be out. Also, I told you guys, I'll switch cities. I'll change my name. I'll start a new business. I love that. I don't love it, but it's just like, rebuilding for me is just like, I mean, it's just an opportunity to like, achieve new goals. And everything's about perspective, right? Everything's about perspective. But I think that what I always start with when I kind of like take stock of my life is, I think the easiest thing for you to start with is just like your physical body, and whether that's working out, eating right, whether you need to go sober. I think a lot of people, when they're trying to rebuild after any type of like detachment in any capacity, they try to like self-medicate with like recreational drugs or prescription drugs or alcohol. They try to like, numb the way that they feel, but it's just like, that's just, and listen, I've been there, I've done that. It doesn't work. But I think that the best way to start is like your physical self, getting your, body right, then your mind, and your mind with your soul, you know what I mean? Making sure your mind, body, soul are balanced all out. But yeah, I think that when you sit with yourself, I think that when you sit with yourself, and my accent, when you sit with yourself, I think that I've also been practicing a lot of like meditation, and a lot of practicing being present, because I think, especially with me, I'm a lot of like, I'm future focused, or I'm like past focused, and it's really in the past it's been like really hard. I have to like actively practice being present. And so I think that that's like, when I wake up in the morning, I try to do a meditation. And if you're not into meditation, oh my gosh, highly, highly, highly recommend you get into meditation when you wake up and you start your day. And Kobe Bryant even actually was a huge advocate of this. And it's just like, he would say like, he can't start his day without meditation, because if he does, then it's like his day handles him instead of him handling his day, or his day happens to him instead of like him managing his, something like that. And if you're a newbie with meditation, jump on YouTube or Spotify and get a fucking playlist. And then you can even like customize your meditation, your guided meditations on there to focus on like what you're focusing on, like whether that is cord cutting, whether you want to like, surrender or let go of, the past or some trauma that you're carrying, or people that, have done that you need to cut the cord. They have those on there, or they have like self-esteem ones that are really good. They have so many good ones. And you can also go to yoga, start a yoga, and they have like beginning yoga. And they even have yoga where like you don't really need to like exercise if you're like really like out of shape. And I've been there too. That they have yoga to where like it's like evening, what's it called? It's like where you just stretch. That's all it is. It's just a stretching. You go there and it's like always around like, it's beautiful. It's fucking sensational. It's, I forgot, they'll have the description on the yoga thing, but it'll be like around 7 or 8 p.m. and you go, and then you just literally stretch with them, with the teacher, guided stretching, and then they'll put you into like, a nice little lay down pose with like a blanket, and then do a guided meditation. And that's all the class is. And then they'll like come around with like essential oils. And then it just puts you in, and it gets you into that like habit of how much and how effective meditation really is for you. And it's because like at first, like when I had no idea, I'd never done meditation ever. I mean to sit still, because I think that because of our society, we're just constantly like, going, doom scrolling. It's like that like constant fake dopamine hits that we're not getting like real dopamine. So it's just, we're constantly like receiving information, I feel like, in the world, that it's hard to, or it feels like uncomfortable to, it's like almost you're not supposed to be sitting still, but it's like that's when you can really process your thoughts and your feelings and start reprogramming those thoughts and feelings to move forward in a better, like more healing way, if that makes sense. But like, because like we're not like in our culture here, especially Southern California, is that we're not really like into like sitting still or sitting in quiet, that we don't know how. And so I only mention yoga is because like that's where I first kind of really learned how, or like what it's like, or like the benefits of it. Like I would go home from yoga class and I would just be like in like this high, and it wasn't drugs. It was like, it was just like this natural high of just feeling like I'm Beyonce. I can do anything. I can take on the world. And it was just great. And it was because of the, the guided meditation. And fortunately, so you can either go to that class, or you can, do a little at-home seance yourself because of YouTube, because of Spotify, and set up the scene. Make it like nice for yourself. When I meditate at home, especially like if I'm doing it in the morning, like I just do like a quick, probably like 5-10 minute meditation. But when I meditate, I love to meditate also at night. So, and I set it the fuck up. Okay. I think that you should really like self-care on steroids. Like get your aesthetic up, get like your candles that, you love to smell, or invest in some good candles, or invest in essential oils. So if you don't like candles, I know a lot of people are doing away with candles. I will never, but a lot of people are doing away. So if you don't like candles, do essential oils, do doTERRA essential oils, put on some good lighting, and get your yoga mat out and stretch while you meditate or listen to the guided meditation. And it really rewires your brain into healing whatever you need to heal. And like whether that, like I keep bringing up cord cutting, but I think that's what I've been kind of focusing on. But or whether that you're focusing on like, you know, confidence, or I don't know. There's so many different things, but you can like look up all the, you know, guided meditations, and there's a bunch on there. But I always just like will stretch while I do that, and then listen to the meditation and make it like a very pleasing experience, like not something you have to do. And I like stretching at the end of the day anyways, but I think also because it programs, so instead of like watching, like I used to like watch reality TV before I went to bed, and I was just like, this is probably the worst thing I could do before I enter like my dream state. It's just like so chaotic. So I stopped doing that too. So I think I've just been really gutting, you know, my bad like tendencies or just habits, and just kind of like getting those out of the way, and like just rebuilding myself in a way that like I'm programming myself, or I'm doing what I can control to like rebuild myself into like, you know, the life I want, the woman I want to be, all that stuff. And I think that when you start, so if you're on like any kind of journey like me, I think that when you start to either create like new habits or like release bad habits, I think that when you like sit down and write out, and really like journaling, dude, I've talked about this before, fucking journal, dude. I was never the type of person that like believed, like, you know, years back, like I was just like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna be like, oh dear diary, and I would like mock. But listen, bitch, I've done the research for us both, and it fucking works, okay? And you cannot type. It's really about sitting down and with a pen and a paper. And I'm an aesthetics bitch, okay? Like I need everything to look pretty, and it encourages me to want to do it when I, you know, invest in a really nice journal. And, you know, get really nice pens. If you're like an aesthetics girly like me, like color coded, I do that. But when you sit down with yourself and, you know, you can have your journaling process, you know, incorporated in your whole like, you know, end of day meditation, stretching, you know, if you want to, you know, that works for me. So if you want to join me in my little seance that I do, or my nighttime routine, but it really works because it's like the only time. What I've read is like journaling works because with a pen, and there's something about writing versus typing too, that you really need to write out your thoughts. But it's the only time that like we can be truly, truly raw and vulnerable with ourselves. And one psychologist said that like it's when you write in your journal, it's like you're sitting in a room with yourself, and it's just like you are in one chair and you're sitting in front of yourself in another chair, and you're both like naked and you're just talking to each other. And it's like that's kind of like the feeling. And it's like you start to, and then when your pen touches the paper, and you could start even with prompts too, and whatever you're going through, whether that's a breakup, whether that's, you know, you're trying to figure out your purpose in life, whether you're trying to figure out, you know, how to heal your trauma, childhood, relationship, you know, whatever, or inner demons that you're trying to overcome, you know, there's journal prompts all over the internet. So I think that to start journaling, and I still do it still, like if I know I'm going through something, and, you know, I get out my journal and I like kind of like don't know what to write. First of all, it's always a good idea to just start writing, and then you'll kind of end up somewhere. But you can also, on Psychology, or Psychology Today or psychology.com. There's tons of prompts on there that you could use, or just a Google fucking search of like, I'm trying to heal from a breakup. Journal prompt. 2024. And it'll just, there's tons, and like you'll have like 100 questions, and you don't have to do 100 questions, or you could, but just like I'm a printer, so that's like so old school of me. I also read a lot of books, and I will not get a Kindle. I like to touch the pages. So I like to highlight and touch, and I'm like a tangible person. But go through the questions and start, like, when one pops out at you, start writing down, and you'll be surprised through your journaling that, like, sometimes we think that we feel or we don't feel a certain type of way, and then when you journal, like I've done this, and I'll be answering some prompts or something, or writing about something, and I'll shock myself of like, I didn't even know I felt that way. Like, that's new. That's new information. But that's why it really works, because you're really, it's like your only chance to like truly be raw and vulnerable with yourself. You know what I mean? And then keep your journal in a safe place. If you live with people, make sure, that way you can feel like that's your private, that's your private journal, and you can really be truthful and honest with yourself, because like nobody else is reading it. Because I've had a girlfriend that told me that he was really he was toxic, but that he had read her journal, and it was just like, I'd rather you go through my phone than my journal. Like, my journal is so personal. I think that should be illegal, first of all. That should be, like, arrest this man. You know what I mean? Anyways, but I think also, like, if you're doing any kind of, like, rebuilding, like I've done multiple times, and I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of in that, zone right now, that I think when you write down of, like, what you, like, the goals that you want to achieve, and you start, like, meeting those goals, that you build your self-esteem too, because I think that when you stop like self-abandoning yourself, and you create goals and then achieve those goals, you build like trust within yourself, and then that increases your self-esteem. So I think that's a really good way to like build your confidence in yourself, is because when you know you're not going to abandon yourself, and you're going to keep your word to yourself, like that's a huge confidence booster. Like it builds like that trust within yourself. You know what I mean? And that's everything. Everything. And then that's like also builds your self-respect, and your internal world is always going to mirror and reflect your external world. So if you trust yourself and you respect yourself, and you are confident, you have high self-esteem, then people are going to respect you. People are going to see that, because it's going to reflect. So I think that when they say you accept the love you think you deserve, that's, half right. But I also think that people find themselves in relationships that are equal to, like, people give them love in the same capacity and weight that they give themselves love. So it's like, when people keep finding themselves, if people are like serial monogamous, we all know this bitch, but it's like they keep finding themselves in the same fucked up relationship. They're dating the same person in different bodies. You know what I mean? It's because like they haven't done the internal work to find love or give love to themselves in a way that will reflect and mirror the way other people love them. You know what I mean? So I think that that's why it's always good to, like, I always think that, and again, I'm not right or wrong. This is just the way that I am. But I think that it's so important. Like, I don't believe in serial monogamy. I don't believe, you break up, you get in another relationship, you get, you know what I mean? I think that it's so important that when you do in any kind of relationship, that you do take time to, reestablish and re-identify who you are as a person and who you are in this world, because I think that when we are in relationships, we spend so much of our time, and this is not just casual dating, I'm saying like when you're really in a relationship, we spend so much time as like, you know, identifying as a couple, like it's Jessica and this person, you know what I mean? And then like when you get out, it's good to like figure out like who Jessica is again, you know what I mean? Like, who am I in society and who do I want to become, so I don't feel like there's a void in my life and I could just like fill my cup 100%, because like I feel like leaving a relationship, you know, you feel a little broken and then you need to fill yourself up again, re-identify like what's important to you, like are you who you want to be, who you're proud of. I think after that process, then it's like, okay, then you date again. But I don't know, I just think that serial monogamy, I think that I'm like SMH shaking my head. I think it's just a way of people trying to fill a void. I think it's like some people are uncomfortable being alone. Some people like can't be alone. You know what I mean? So, and I think that there's a very vast difference between being alone and being lonely. So I think that, I don't know. I don't want people to have me in their life because they're lonely. You know what I mean? And I don't date, also on the other hand of it, like if I don't think you should date, you know, a man that is fresh out of a relationship too, because like it's just like I'm not gonna be like a rebound, you know what I mean? And again, I don't believe in serial monogamy, so like I think that you need time to figure out and heal who you are, then we can chat. But anyways, if you're anything like me, and you're on this journey, then I salute you, girl. But also, there's probably 2 books that I would, and again, if you're not a reader, that's cool. If you are, or if you're not a reader, and you listen, because a lot of people aren't psychopaths like me, or listen to books. There's also Headspace. It's an app. This is not sponsored, but Headspace, it's an app. And basically what it is they have a ton of like books on there, and it basically gives you, I think they're like 15-minute Cliff Note versions that you can listen to like at the gym or whatever. And it gives you basically like this synopsis, like the summary of the book in like 15 minutes, which I think is dope. But there's like 2 books that I think that if you're trying to heal or find some kind of like peace and solitude, or finding like contentment within your inner world, would be like, there's one, it's Inner Peace, and I'll link them in the below. But it's called Inner Peace, and I think it's by Matt and Ash or something. And then there's a book it's called How to Do the Work by the holistic psychologist Nicole LaPara, I believe. But I'll link them below. But if you're in any kind, so How to Do the Work is more like how to like heal, how to do that like at home inner work of healing the past, whether that's like letting go of something you went through, or any kind of like unparenting or childhood trauma healing. That's really, really, that book was probably like in my top 5 books on it. I'm gonna be honest, because that should like open my mind. And then the Inner Peace book is so beautiful. It's probably a book that you'll keep and reread. It has a lot of good fucking nuggets in it, and it's all about like, and it teaches you a lot about meditation and finding inner peace, and really kind of like how to like disconnect from, you know, all the societal pressures, or, you know, try to like be the thinker of your thoughts and not become your thoughts. Anyways, I think I'm pretty much done here. I will see you guys next time. If you guys like this video and want to hang out next time, like and subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?